This story is brought to you by the Health and Homeopathy podcast.
And so a big one for me personally is, so I have hypothyroidism. I actually have Hashimoto's, the autoimmune disease. And so, of course, I was looking for something to help with that because I didn't want to be on medication for the rest of my life. And I had been diagnosed for, I think it was 2014 when I was diagnosed, but I know I'd had it a lot longer because I'd had problems and stuff. And so I'd been on medication for, at the time, like 7 years. And so I was just like, done with it. So I started a Banerji protocol, which was for hypothyroidism. I believe it's like bromium 6 and like a podium 200, I think is the two. I'm trying to recall.
Yeah.
But so I did start that almost a year ago, like last December or November or something. And I took that for 12 weeks and didn't notice any improvement. I mean, maybe just a little bit, but it was not, because at the time I was trying to even like slowly come off of my medication, and I hadn't noticed an improvement. My numbers were still high. And so I was reading on, I think it was the Banerji protocol Facebook page. I believe so. Everybody like talking about the remedy iodium, or I'm not sure which one it's actually pronounced by, but I started reading about some other homeopathic doctors or people using that to cure their hypothyroidism. And so all about like the full moon and just how it relates to that. And I was just like, okay, this is crazy, but like I can follow along. I can try this. I mean, why not? And so I ordered some, and it's a very high potency, a CM. And so the first month that you're supposed to take it on the full moon. And so that's once a month. And so the first dose I took was in February, I believe, of this year. And like I said, at the time, I was kind of slowly trying to come off my medication. I think I had gone back up because my numbers, were not reflecting where they were getting worse. And so the first month, February, I began to take it, and goodness, I don't even know how much longer it was that I actually got my labs drawn again. It may have been a couple of months, but I continued to take the iota each full moon after that. And I even posted, if anybody's actually listening to this and is on the Facebook page of the Banerji protocol, you can search my post, and I posted pictures of my labs and the progress of them. And so I was getting my labs drawn every, 8 to 12 weeks or so. And let's see, try to remember when I actually stopped taking my medication, like for good. It wasn't too long after I started doing the iodine, and my numbers were continuing to get better and stabilize without medication at all. So anyways, this had been going on, all year this year. And I just got my labs drawn. It's probably been maybe 7 or 8 weeks ago by now. And again, they were looking really good. And I haven't been on medication now since, I don't know, like March. So that's been awesome. So for me, that's the hypothyroidism gone. I still know I have the Hashimoto's part because of the TP, like the antibodies, they're still high. And so, but they are coming down. So, which I'll get to that and why I think that's happening. But just the fact that I'm not on medication anymore for my thyroid, and I don't have any symptoms. I don't have any of the hypothyroid symptoms, and it just blew me away. And my doctor, she was just like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And I was telling her, homeopathy, and she's like, "Oh, what's that?" She had no idea. And she was just like, "Man, yeah, that's surprising because most people, pretty much everybody's never able to get off of, their medication and stuff." And so she was, kind of blown away. I don't think she has a lot of knowledge of it, but it was just really neat to have her she kind of supported that. But yeah, so, and also those numbers, because normally, your thyroid, we usually you need to kind of go up in your medication a little bit when you're pregnant, since, baby's taking some of that out to, I believe, to produce their own thyroid. And so with my last two, I had to do that. I had to go up just slightly. And so again, like, since I had my labs drawn like 8 weeks ago, I had already been pregnant for 6 weeks or so, and my numbers hadn't, needed to be on medication or anything. So anyways, that was a huge thing. That's something kind of, because I'm pretty sure that's not a Banerji protocol, but it was something that I saw a trend, and so I looked into it and thought, why not try it? Like, it makes sense because I know how much iodine is very important to the thyroid. And I had actually been on like a supplemental iodine before, and which is actually how I got pregnant with my first, because, we were obviously, with the thyroid, you struggle with infertility. And so I had been on some supplemental iodine before I got pregnant with my first one. And so I knew that it had helped me. I knew it was what my body needed. And so I also muscle tested for it, and I was positive, and each month. And so I knew that's what my body needed. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so are you still taking it every month?
No. So actually this last month I muscle tested negative. And so I was like, oh, but I will test every month, probably, just to, see if that's something I need to take. But yeah, October was the first time I didn't test positive for it. So I was taking it. Yeah, I guess, I don't know how many months that is since February.
That's awesome. I'm just like sitting over here grinning ear to ear. I was like, that sounds amazing. I love it.
Yes, it really is. It's awesome.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs the healing power of homeopathy.